Good morning, and welcome to the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. Here in sunny, beautiful Jamaica, where all is light, all is love, and all is peace. For those of you who are joining us on the web today, thank you so much for being here. We know you had somewhere else you could have been, but we appreciate that you chose to be with us. Please join me in an opening affirmative prayer. In this moment, we recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one life, one love. This is us. This is who we are, because there really is only one of us here, and that is God in full and free expression in, through, and as each one of us. In this recognition, then, I acknowledge that this morning's service is an already perfect idea in the one mind, the mind of God, which thinks through us. So every idea that is expressed in the fulsomeness of love and light, so that each person who hears it is open and receptive to the message, so that as we leave here, we go with God as God. I release these words now into that infinite law that blesses this morning's service and that knows how to make it wonderfully perfect now. I give thanks that this is so, and say, and so it is. For my inspirational reading this morning, it comes from The Royal Road to Abundant Living by Nora Boyd, and it's titled, Only Believe. In the Science of Mind textbook we read, and I quote, "The whole teaching of Jesus is to have faith and to believe. He placed a greater value on faith and belief than any individual who has ever taught spiritual truth." That's from the Science of Mind textbook, page 450, chapter 3. Faith, belief, conviction, trust, realization, etc., are used to describe that state of inner knowing which knows beyond all doubt that that to which our word or thought is directed will be acted upon by the only power there is. We are already one with Almighty power. Our mind is part and parcel of the one mind. To the extent that we grasp this truth, we build a foundation of faith. Our faith works for us. Faith rightly placed or faith misplaced. When rightly placed, faith has no battles to fight, because situations that at one time would have frightened us are no longer seen as problems. If we do not have what we would like to have now, we have proved that the law works one way at least, because our belief that we haven't got it has outpictured as not having it. It is time to use the creative law in a positive direction. It works just as accurately. By properly using the creative law, we can receive money and rewarding opportunities. We can feel successful, happy, and satisfied. Our inner mirror reflecting a perfect body with the glow of health in our eyes, hair, and skin. By rehearsing it all in our mind, a complete and perfect picture is planted in immutable law, the mirror of life. Nothing more simple or more profound. Anything of real value is profoundly simple. That appears to be a contradiction in terms, but it's not. We can say that belief, which is certainty of mind, identifies a powerful inner link between the individual and the one mind, thus establishing a connection between a person's specific thoughts and the corresponding aspects of life's essence. This activates the law of mind in a way that produces an exact equivalent of what one is believing. And so it is. Now, please join me in our praise song, I Believe. Please stand. I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night, a candle glows. I believe for everyone that goes astray, someone will come to show the way. I believe, I believe. I believe above the storm, the smallest prayer will still be heard. I believe that someone in that great somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry or touch a leaf or see the sky, then I know I believe. A newborn baby cry or touch a leaf or see the sky, then I know I believe. And please remain standing for our mission song, found on page 2 and on the screen.
The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one with spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one with spirit on a mission, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day.
Yay! Now let us have the prayer of our center. Together. The Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ peace, love, and joy emanate, to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with it in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center, and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. You may be seated. I'll now light the candle for the youth of the world and for everyone, really. I light this candle on behalf of all the youth of the world and for all persons in the world. We love you, we appreciate you, we salute the Christ in you, and we see you as shining lights unto your world. God is blessing you now, and so it is. And now it's time for the announcements. If you have not yet done so, you're invited to spend a few quiet moments in the garden with Reverend John every Monday morning at 6 a.m. on Facebook Live. And please join us again on Facebook Live for our Spiritual Mind Healing Service on Tuesday, January the 12th at 6 p.m. This week, our speaker will be practitioner Courtney Johnson. We have a lot of activities going on here. On Thursdays, from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., you can enjoy an hour of fellowship at Prayer Power. This is a circle of prayer whose purpose is to facilitate spiritual growth. Anyone is free to participate and experience the benefits of spontaneous prayer. Prayer Power also utilizes Zoom, so you need to let us know so we can send you the link if you would like to participate. Just 1 hour. Today, following the service at 10:30 a.m., Reverend Michael Record will be facilitating Discovery. This also will be on Facebook Live. Today's topic, what can 2021 expect from you? We have many classes happening. So you need to make Science of Mind classes your spiritual enrichment for 2021. Continuing this Thursday, January the 14th, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., Reverend John Scott has a face-to-face class on mental equivalent. So that's Thursday from 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Also, as of Thursday, January the 14th, Reverends Anne Shand and Sonia Davidson will continue the series titled Revealing Wholeness, and this is from 7 to 9 p.m. on Zoom. So remember, if you wish to participate in the Zoom classes, you need to contact the office for the link. Classes for non-residents of Jamaica cost $16 US for non-members and $10 US for members. This is payable through PayPal on our Facebook page. For Jamaican residents, classes cost $1,600 for non-members and $1,200 for members. This is payable at our office or to our savings account at the Bank of Nova Scotia, Knutsford Boulevard, account number 20941. Please register by emailing us or by calling the office. The office number is 876-946-2230. Also, please remember, if you are intending to attend our Sunday celebration in person, like you are today, please call our office at 876-946-2230 to let us know. As you know, congregants attending must wear a face mask and observe the prescribed protocols. Also, physical distancing is important now more than ever. And also leave the premises as quickly as possible after the service. We know we love to hang around and chat and hug up. Ain't possible. So, if you can't bless us with your presence on a Sunday, you can still be with us in consciousness as services continue to be live streamed on Facebook Live. We continue to respond with prayer to the challenges of this very special time. Today, a practitioner will be available to pray with you during a 15-minute period immediately following our service. And this happens every Sunday. The practitioner on duty today is Carol Charlton. And the number to call, write this down, 876-289-0907. You may listen to an inspiring prayer also by calling our prayer line. This number, 876-978-1167. And if you wish to speak to a minister in person, they may be reached at 876-289-0907 from 8 a.m. until 12 midnight, Monday to Friday. Also, this is the last one. You may phone in your prayer request to our office at 876-927-6145 or 876-946-2230. Or you can email us at templeoflight@cwjamaica.com. Or if you prefer, you may drop off your prayer requests, tithes, offerings, and set appointment for practitioner assistance by calling the numbers or coming by the office. If you feel moved to support our ministry of love and light, your loving gifts may be transferred to our savings account number 20941 at the Bank of Nova Scotia, New Kingston branch. Viewers who join us on Facebook Live, please visit the Home tab on our Facebook page, and you will find the link to our PayPal Donate button in the top of the post. If you are worshiping with us in person, please note that there's a basket on either side of the platform in which you may place your offerings as you exit the sanctuary. This concludes our announcements. Thank you so much for listening. Now please join me in singing our first hymn, We Build a New Tomorrow. It's on page 3 of your program. Please stand.
We build a new tomorrow, we draw the pattern clear, we make our plans with wisdom, for mind is ever here. Our thinking makes our future, our actions pave the way. We build a new tomorrow on patterns formed today. We clear the heart of hatred, we clear the mind of fear. We speak no word of censure of all we see or hear. With love to guard and guide us, with mind to light the way. We build a new tomorrow on sites we clear today. Whatever things are whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, we bring them into view. The cornerstone of heaven, for guiding lines we lay. We build a new tomorrow with love and joy today.
Thank you. Please be seated and get ready to be inspired, uplifted, and just taken to a new place in consciousness by our very own Energizer Bunny, Reverend Sonia Davidson. Please help me welcome her.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Carol. I am so grateful to you for being this morning, not only the host, but the cantor and the musical item. This is in addition to all the wonderful things that she does for this church. So welcome everyone who is in the sanctuary and those who are on the World Wide Web. Welcome to our beautiful Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. As usual, this time of the year is so wonderfully cool and yet bright. And we are so happy to have you all. Well, my topic this morning, I believe, help thou my unbelief. Belief. It's easy for us to believe when we have been convinced by a persuasive argument or when our senses have been presented with the evidence. However, what if, like everyone else, we are seeking after, desiring, longing for, dreaming of an experience beyond anything we are currently experiencing? What if everything that is going on around us denies the possibility of some of the things that we wish to attain? The world is continuing to go through special times. Things are taking place which people even older than I am are saying, no, sir, I never seen anything like this before. Yet, be assured that the universe is unfolding as it should. I think that is from Desideratum. We need not be troubled, but rather shore up our belief in the ever-present reality of, as the psalmist says, that which neither slumbers nor sleeps. To be certain, there is an underlying orderliness to all that appears, that reveals itself in its own way. Dr. Ernest Holmes, founder of religious science and exponent of the science of mind philosophy, says it this way: while the laws of mind, like all laws, are neutral, good must finally overcome the appearance of evil. Evil is a negation. Good is positive, like light and darkness. Darkness cannot overcome light, but light can neutralize darkness. That is why Jesus, he said to us, seek ye first the kingdom, and everything else will be added. And what is the doorway to that kingdom? Belief. Jesus also said many times, many times, he has used the word belief. In fact, I am reliably told that he used the word 257 times. Let us consider a story of no other than the Master himself, Jesus the Christ. It's taken from the King James. No, it's the modified version, the modern version of the Bible. This version is from Mark, but it's also in Matthew. The story is in two parts. In the first part of this story, that is known as the Transfiguration, Jesus went up into a high mountain, taking with him Peter, James, and John, three of his disciples, while the other disciples waited for him in the village. They were about, that is Peter, James, and John, and yes, Jesus, were about to have a life-altering experience. While there, the three disciples, they went up into a high mountain, remember. And while they were there, they witnessed an amazing phenomenon where Jesus' form changed to a luminous, dazzling apparition. I don't hear that transfiguration being spoken about too often, perhaps because up until now, it was difficult to explain in scientific terms what was really happening. So it may have been seen more as metaphorical. But now, with the advance in quantum physics, we can understand. I won't give you a lecture in quantum physics this morning, but I can tell you that it is quite easy to understand what took place. Jesus became so dazzling, his form became so dazzling, that it was even difficult for the disciples to look at him. But while he was there, he met with the form of Elijah and Moses. I don't think quantum physics has really gotten there yet. But they noticed him having a conversation with Jesus. Of course, they were both terrified and elated at the same time. And they started to babble about making, a house for Jesus and Moses and Elijah, but that was not to be. And a cloud appeared and seemed to completely cover the form of Jesus, Moses, and Elijah. And a booming voice, was said to have come from, apparently, no particular place or everywhere, saying, "This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." And as quickly as the apparitions came, they were gone, and there was no one else beside Jesus. So, as strange as I said, this experience was, it seemed to have pivoted Jesus into his healing ministry. And these disciples who were chosen metaphorically represent Peter, strong, enduring, unwavering faith. And it probably took some faith to have witnessed that phenomenon. James, the faculty of judgment, the quality that weighs a question and draws a conclusion. I assume that James would have thought about it and come to some very practical explanation of what he had seen. And John, the faculty of love, that which realized that Jesus in this exalted state was the epitome of love, the presence of God made manifest, as we all are. But they saw it in a very vivid, present way. There was no mistake that Jesus chose those three disciples who presented as faith, judgment, and love. And so they were privileged to witness that point in Jesus' ministry where he was about to really take off big in his healing ministry. He was now vibrating at an even higher frequency than before. So when they came down out of the mountain, that is the next part of the story, a big crowd was seen, and that crowd, seeing Jesus, just ran towards him. That was the magnetic attraction of the man at the time. Ran towards him, and Jesus saw his disciples standing, having an argument with some learned people, call them teachers of the law. They surrounded them and were talking with him. And Jesus asked the disciples, "What's happening? What are you arguing about?" And the crowd explained that there was a healing that needed to take place. Jesus then listened carefully as he heard that the disciples had attempted to do healing and had failed to do so. They told him so themselves. But the crowd also verified that. So they brought to him a man whose son was very ill. Then again, when it was described vividly as boy who was occupied by a demonic spirit. But in our modern day understanding in medicine, we know that that was a very, very typical description of an epileptic seizure, right? There is no doubt. If you read it for yourself, we'll all know that. So the man said, "Jesus, please help me. Please help me." And Jesus said, "I can help you if you believe." And what did the man say? "I believe, help thou my unbelief." And Jesus did just that. The boy, when he was brought to Jesus, went into a major fit and collapsed and was as if dead. And Jesus very calmly took his hand and said, he chastised that which was in him and demanded that it be driven out. And when the disciples asked Jesus, "So how come we couldn't do it and you did it?" He said, "This kind comes only from prayer." They were not praying, they were arguing. How many times we meet a situation in our lives where, there's some doubt or something that seems big, really big, because let's face it, this was a dramatic experience which could really obscure the vision of the disciples, so that they were caught up with the phenomenon, with the outer experience. And instead of looking beneath and being prayerful and being still, they were arguing about what to do and what was going on and what was the nature. So basically, the message there to us for Jesus is be prayed up. Coming up into the mountain, Jesus showed us an example of what to do. We are to live from that mountaintop of consciousness. How to get there? We need to spend time in prayer, and we need to spend time in the silence, so that when we meet the situations that could appear to frighten us, to disturb us, then what do we need to do? Instead of being afraid and saying, "Oh, I believe," but deep down there is doubt, you say to yourself, "Help thou my unbelief." You admit that there is something in you which needs to continue to pray, to see the truth about what you are about to change. And so we give up. Yes, we give up sometimes because when we have prayed, the unbelief sometimes takes over. And then we are in that mode that we are thinking, how come things are not happening? And we are projecting into the future. And Eckhart Tolle says, give up waiting as a state of mind. No, be present. When you catch yourself slipping into waiting, come into the present moment. Just be there and enjoy being. Unbelief may sneak into your mind that is firmly, in the mind that is firmly rooted in the acceptance of good. We need to be vigilant at all times. We want to be sure that we are not afraid. And therefore, if we find ourselves looking into the future and asking ourselves, why is this not happening? That is unbelief. We need to enjoy being in the present. We need to be in that consciousness which lets go of the desire to make things happen quickly. No, I need to confess that I have an experience which caused me to call out for the help of a practitioner. I live in a house which is maybe as old as I am, but it has good bones. You know, when I say a house has good bones, and I know, like a lot of things in it, because I thought that, well, the things that are in the house were made of good wood, good this, good everything. So, yes, I needed to have a new kitchen. But I kept insisting that I did not want the things to be torn out, but just to be, fixed. Now, my husband had a different idea. He said, tear out the whole thing, man, tear it out. But I said, this is good wood. Maybe they don't have this good wood anymore, Just put on a counter, put in some doors and so on. You see what is happening? You're holding on to what exists before. There's a little fear that what you are, you're not ready for the new thing because it may not be as good as the old, right? Unbelief. So what happened? Yes, we agreed that we would deal with the kitchen. Now, that was just when COVID started first. I think it was March or April. So he got a carpenter to come. And the carpenter said, no, man, you have to tear out everything. Tear out everything. Agreed with him. And because his mind was definite and certain. So yes, of course, when you're definite and certain, the universe will agree with you. So they tore out everything. And believe me, for another 3 months, there was no kitchen. It was there. And every time I looked inside at the kitchen, all I could see was what was not there. And so it was really becoming, I was becoming self-indulgent. Instead of looking at how I knew it could be and would be, I was seeing the big empty space. So anyway, eventually, the carpenter came and put down the cupboards with open space, not the cupboards, just the countertop. So then there were another months to wait. And he just didn't appear. He didn't appear. So we met up on another person who said, it just happened, serendipity, right? The law. He said, I am a great carpenter. I am the one who could finish this and make it, wonderful. So my husband jumped at that idea and immediately gave him a large deposit to go to buy the wood, right? Shortly after we had done that, we are hearing from other people, right? I am hearing from other people, no, you don't give those people money just to go away, with. They may not come back with it. So I said, no, man, I affirm, no, I'm seeing, now I'm into that mood where I'm seeing my kitchen, so I'm really working at it. 1 month passed, no man. 2 months passed, no man. 3 months passed, no man. I said, no, my husband, you have to do something about this. Tried to call the man with the name he gave. No phone number, no man, right? You see, you're in the back of your mind, unbelief is at work. It is at work. So what happened? Long story, but I have to tell you because it's a learning. One night, about 9:30, knock on the door. There comes the man, saying, I come to finish this thing, right? I was sick. I was knocked down, and I had to spend the money. And, I had to spend the money, but I'm coming. So he goes away in another month. We don't see him again. Then he comes back to say I had to work the money. No, the long and the short of the story, or the long of it, right, is that he came back eventually and said, I'm going to give you your kitchen for the Christmas. And I'm going to make it the most beautiful kitchen that I have ever done. I really want, so you can, when I finish, you can come to, I'm going to come to you and fix me up, Doc. You're going to fix me up. I said, I'll fix you up even without that. Give me my kitchen. It turned out that this man and his people are the ones who make the kitchens for all these ready-made kitchens that you see around the place. And I can promise you, after I decided to let go, and in prayer power, I asked Steve Golding, just spontaneously, because we don't really ask for prayer in prayer power, we do it spontaneously. I said, Steve, you need to pray me up so I stop looking at what isn't there. I want my kitchen. And he gave such a beautiful prayer, including how I'm going to feel when I walk into it, and he didn't leave out any feelings. And exactly what I have. A beautiful, beauty. One of these days, you'll all be invited to, right? When COVID stopped keeping, right? A beautiful kitchen. The moral of the story is that unbelief takes all kind of subtle forms. And practitioner or no practitioner, or no matter how much you know and how much you say you believe, unbelief is when you do not allow yourself to look past the appearance and look deep into what lies beneath. What lies beneath always is the presence of God. And the presence of God appears to us as we recognize it in the form and feeling and experience that is appropriate for us in the moment at the time. So I have decided to continue to stay in that place where I'm happy, peaceful, and joyful all the time. And I needed that wake-up call with the kitchen as something as mundane as the kitchen to remind me that I believe. What? Help thou my unbelief. So I have an affirmation which I am committed to using, and there are others. I believe in complete unity with good. I have complete confidence in my knowledge and understanding of God. And you can share it with me. I believe in complete unity with good. I believe in complete unity with good. I have complete confidence in my knowledge and understanding of good. I have complete knowledge and understanding of good. So if at any time you feel that you want to go after anything, and that's why we're here, to experience good, experience life more abundant. And there's a little chance that there may be unbelief, here's an affirmation. That which I seek is seeking me. That which belongs to me comes to me. That which I seek is seeking me. That which belongs to me comes to me. I now accept all that I have hoped for and believed in. I now accept all that I have hoped for and believed in. And I like it better when they say all that I expect. So I now accept all that I expect and believe in. So we have to admit that we are living in a time which calls for focus. It calls for belief. And sometimes we may be distracted, and I warn you, if you get caught up in the media, you might have to call out more than once, Lord, I believe, help thou my unbelief. It is clear to me that the universe has been finding over the last 12 months all kinds of dramatic ways to reestablish divine order in the collective experience of mankind, of which we are each an integral part. It is so important then that we train our minds to think on these things that St. Paul exhorts us to do in Philippians 4, verse 8. Whatsoever things are true, honest, just, pure, lovely, and of good report, and praiseworthy, think on these things. Remember our song? You can take it home with you. Friends, I do, and I'm sure you do too, want to live in a world where people do find the joy they seek, know how to find peace which passeth all understanding. Because God is life, God is everywhere, in all and through all. Then peace is likewise there. So is love. So is beauty. So is order. So is light. So is wisdom, yes. In the midst of every situation, we can find joy if we believe. And here's another affirmation. Yeah, I'm into that mood this morning. There is nothing in me that can doubt that good will make its appearance in my experience. There is nothing in me that can doubt that good will make its appearance in my experience. I see in everyone that which I know to be true of myself. I see in everyone that which I know to be true of myself, because that's how we have to live. When we are living from that point of view where everyone becomes our brother, then we begin to have a worldview that is wider than just us and our immediate environment. You will find yourself thinking across the entire world, the physical earth, but also the family of the human race. And so, my friends, you can say when you're in that consciousness, you know that you're well on the way to living free of doubt, or with just glimpses of doubt, and you will not indulge in doubt or unbelief. And so you can say with confidence, I am guided by infinite intelligence into that light which is eternal. My soul is jubilant. So I wanted to say my last affirmation. I am guided by infinite wisdom. Infinite wisdom. Into that light which is eternal. And my last one that I love. My soul is jubilant. Say it out. Say it loud. My soul is jubilant. And so it is. So it is.
What did I tell you? Let's give her another round of applause. And the musical item this morning, which I will be presenting, is a song written by our very own Clyde Hoyt. It's called Have Faith.
When clouds of fear come sailing near, though the way be dark and long, love endures and hope is strong. Have faith, you'll win. If you would find sweet peace of mind while the storms around you roll, here's the anchor for your soul. Have faith, you'll win. What though the heart be sad today, and you may feel you've lost your way? Hope comes to cancel all despair. Fear leaves when love is near you. The storms will pass, peace comes at last, through the faith that makes you strong. Faith as simple as my song. Have faith, you'll win.
Sweetness and every single word. You heard? Have faith. You'll win. You'll win. You will win. So we will continue in this exalted state with our prayer of Jamaica. Thank you. Our second song first. Okay. Yes, and thank you, Carol. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for filling in with that. Yes. Okay, our next song will be Great is Thy Faithfulness, right? Okay. Great is Thy Faithfulness. Please stand.
Great is thy faithfulness, O God my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassions they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever wilt be. Great is thy faithfulness, great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness. faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, thy hand hath provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me.
Wow, thank you for just singing this from your heart. It is one of my favorite, if perhaps my favorite hymns of all. And so now we can take that consciousness with us into our prayer of Jamaica. The radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us
to
to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. The glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life which set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established. And so it is. And before we go any further, we want to bless our love offering. And that is the blessing, I think, is also on our World Wide Web. And so we clasp it and we say together, lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase and multiply. Bless, prosper and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. Thank you, Father, and so it is. And as we affirm gratitude for this love offering, we also affirm gratitude for everyone who has been a part of this service, and for everyone on the World Wide Web waiting to share of their good fortune with us. So I know that it is a love which is God that has summoned us to this experience. And it is that love which so fills our hearts and our minds with the joy of knowing that truly we believe. We believe in the living Spirit Almighty. We believe that God is the only power and the only presence. We believe that that God which is the only power and presence resides within us as us. It uses us even as we use the law of its good. And we know we surrender and we allow it to be that which streams forth into our lives, to bless everything that we do, we say, we feel, we experience, and we share. So that I know that we are a blessing to this world, even as we are a blessing to those who are nearest and dearest to us. We know that we are now adding to the cosmic vibration and allowing that which we know to be true, that the kingdom is come. Right here within us, that kingdom is here. And we see it appearing more and more in the outer experience of mankind. And so we believe, we know, and we celebrate. So we live here now and go to our respective destinations. Our travel along the road is safe, successful, pleasant, and easy. And our lives are the richer for having been here. We give thanks that it is so. And so it is. And yes, there is peace on earth. Yes? Yes, there is peace.
Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was
Just a reminder, tune in next Tuesday when Courtney Johnson will be the speaker at our healing service. Stay on and use the services of Carol Charlton, practitioner, who is on standby for 15 minutes, who will pray with you. And remember all the wonderful offerings our church has to join at any time by any platform that is available. And remember to offer your loving support to your church in all manner, in cash or kind, or your service, or just your beautiful presence. God bless you. I love you.